personally, I obviously have had several friendships over the years that have fizzled out, but one very blatant breakup.
Oh, yeah?
Which I was very clear about.
Oh, yeah.
And it was definitely more like a relationship breakup where I'm a very blunt person. I'm very direct. I'm very direct.
You're a feisty one.
A little bit.
She's a feisty one, is she?
But I made a very conscious decision that once that person had crossed the line one too many times, I addressed it directly to her face. And I said, I will not accept this in my life. You are no longer my friend. I don't want you around. And that's it for me.
I think there's like 3 very main clear reasons why friendships end. There's toxic relationship,
which was the case in that scenario.
Yeah, toxic dynamic, growing apart,
right?
Different life phase. And there's a underlying resentment, I think.
I feel like there's a fourth though, which is kind of something that you were just saying, which is where you genuinely just kind of fizzle, even if maybe you don't want to, but it's just like you both kind of end up in these different stages of life that occupy your energy and attention. And then you kind of start surrounding yourself with the people that are more involved in that stage of your life. And you just slowly, naturally, gradually drift apart. But it's not because you don't like them or it was toxic or any of those first 3 things. It just happened that way.
Yes. I just thought of another friendship that I remember fizzling away. It's also like how now that I'm talking about it and thinking about it, they are very shifting points in my life. Like one specific when I was 18, you're ending high school. Some people are going into university or college. Other people are going into jobs or they're taking a year off. And if you don't have that space of friendship and connection where you have allowed the other to be vulnerable with you and share or like be conscious enough to ask and be emotionally intelligent enough to communicate. Like for instance, I remember my girlfriend at the time was going through like a very bad family time. Like I believe her parents were like divorcing at the time and I didn't really know.
Right.
And I almost like was oblivious to it. Mm-hmm. So because that was like causing her a lot of mental turmoil, like I just wasn't there in the way that she needed me to be.
Right.
So she didn't communicate that to me and I didn't communicate. So it was just like a dual-ended thing, but also like that was a huge reason why we grew apart. But then there was also like a resentment that came from underneath that. So like even exes that I had after that, like this girl would intentionally like go for them and even existing boyfriends. It was wild because that was just an example of like a toxic relationship in my life. But it's almost like you have to go through these sometimes to realize like you don't want them. So it's not like we're here trying to be like, these are the things you should avoid in life. I think that
it's all a growth experience. Every friendship is this. But
how do you get through it?
What's that saying where it's like, some people are a page in your book of life and some people are a chapter. But either way, like it's a part of your story and it's part of your makeup and who you are.
Yeah.
And that's okay. It's all okay. Yeah. How it transpires.
Yeah. And I think it's also like, how do you get through it and how do you navigate it? Because some definitely affect you more than others.
Well, I think that if you're in a situation where it's a potential friendship breakup, you really have to decide and know when to let go. Mm-hmm. And I think that can be really hard, especially for women, because I feel like, I don't want to disappoint and I don't want to hurt her feelings and I don't want to, other people to look at me like I'm a bad person because I basically told her to her face that I don't want to be friends anymore or, whatever it is. But at the end of the day, like if you want quality in your life and you want to be happy and fulfilled and cut the fat, so to speak, like you have to be willing to make hard decisions and you have to be willing to end relationships that are no longer serving you or bringing something that's detrimental to your life and your energy.
Do you find that's like with, let's say, female friendships versus like a romantic relationship? Because I find romantic relationships, even though they're seen as different and more complicated, but it's like, I don't know what it is, but with a romantic relationship, when you're going through a breakup, for the most part, there's a lot of like aftermath and lingering, maybe because there's like that romantic aspect linked to it. So you have like a different part of your heart, I guess.
Yeah.
And like maybe guess the gaze of the opposite sex or the same sex or whatever relationship that you were in.
Right.
Versus like with just a platonic friendship, it's like easier to cut off because it's just like whatever. It's just a hangout or whatever.
I guess
do you
so.
find that?
I think it depends on who you are, probably.
I guess, because it's like
I'm a cut and dry kind of person.
But that's how I felt like with certain female friendships. I was like, yep, done. You're out of my life. Yeah. And I'm like, I'm easy to turn the other way.
Yeah.
Whereas like with the romantic partners and relationships, even though they might have cost me much worse than any female relationship, platonic relationship for me in my life I would still talk to them and go back and maybe try it again. Like, why is it messier as a romantic relationship versus that platonic relationship?
It's a different part of the heart.
Yeah.
Different part of the heart and mind.
So interesting. But there definitely was some female friendships that I would say it wasn't the heartbreak that made it hard and made me think of them anymore. It was more like the fading away, because all of a sudden you wake up and you realize you're like, this person's like no longer part of my life, or a memory pops up and you're like, oh my God, that was so, what happened to them? Like, where are they? Why did we stop being friends? Like, and there's no explanation for it. And so you try to reconnect, but it's just never the same.